Welcome to Craft Talk. Today I have my good friend with me. She is a homeschool mom like me, and of course a knitter.
Yes.
Yeah. And her name is Katie. She is sharpening our arrows.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Mm-hmm. So if you want to check her out and check out her boys.
Yes.
And all the
homeschooling adventures.
Homeschool adventures, yeah. That they do. Go check her out. I am Gabie's Goodies on Instagram, and we're here to talk knitting today. Yay! And we have an audience of our children
And a puppy.
peering through the window, so hopefully it won't be interrupted too much. Yes, distracting. So I guess let me ask you first, when did you start knitting? How long ago? Who taught you?
Well, knitting is like a passed down tradition in my family. So my mom learned from her mother, who learned from my grandmother, but on the other side, like my dad's, my grandfather's mom taught her how to knit. And it's kind of been passed down. My mom taught me how to knit when I was 17 or 18. And then I didn't really do it.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant with Aiden. And when all of a sudden, like, the nesting kicked in, and I wanted knitted stuff, and my mom was knitting stuff for the baby, and that's when I finally, like, Aiden's baby blanket is the first blanket that I ever knitted.
Yeah.
And Noah's blanket is the first blanket I ever crocheted, and Dean's was really nice because I'd been knitting for a long time.
See, with my third, I felt like I just didn't have very much time. I actually crocheted both of my first two. I didn't really get the passion for knitting until after my youngest was about 3. I learned how to knit in college, but it didn't come back as like a really strong passion until then.
Well, I was pregnant with my second one, who's waving at me right now, by the way. We were all pregnant. My sister-in-law was pregnant, and my husband's cousin. I found out I was pregnant in February. Mm-hmm. Then one found out they were pregnant in March, and the next one found out they were pregnant in April.
All back to back.
Yes. So, and I was like on a knitting kick, and so everybody had matching sweaters, everybody had matching hats, everybody had a blanket, everybody had one of those cocoons that you snug the baby into. Yeah, and then it kind of tampered out for me after I had my third, because then I didn't have any time to knit anymore.
Right. Do you have a picture of all those little sweaters?
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them, and of course the ones that I made for him, I obviously still have, and will get passed on to the next generation. I did try to say, hey, take a picture of your kid in that and send it to me. I didn't bring any of that because I didn't think about it, but
that's okay. You could send me one. Maybe if she sends me one, I'll put it in.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only ever made a garment for another person's child once, and I don't have a picture of that. They never sent me one.
Ask Carolyn if she still has the cocoon I made for Emma, because it was white, it was all crocheted, and it had roses, silver and gold roses all the way around. Nobody was having girls, so
yeah, that's true.
That time.
Emma. Yeah, that's fun.
And I made a cocoon for Braylon. Yeah,
and I think
I think that got passed on too. You really care if I give it to my
yeah. They're little, just like little.
It keeps
sacks.
them swaddled.
Yeah. And so instead of having to swaddle up the baby and their legs and arms poking out, you just kind of
wrap them up,
and
then stick them in the thing.
Drop them in the little sack.
Pull it up, and
they
can't do anything. They're stuck in there.
They remind me of. Did you ever make the sock baby dolls when you were a kid?
I didn't, but I know what you're talking about.
It's like you take a tube sock and you stuff its head, and then you cinch it under the head, and you cinch it where like the legs would end, and you sew like a little seam so it kind of looks like legs.
Yeah.
Like seam for the arms. But then you left, at least we did, we left the rest of the sock on there and just folded it up like a little cocoon.
Yeah.
Its little face stuck out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's how the babies were.
Yeah, they're cute too.
They were.
Sometimes the only way to keep them swaddled.
Yes, that's true. My son, whenever I swaddled him, he would always pop his little arms out, no matter how tight I made them down here. He would stick them up, and they would be like this, all stuck to the side of his head, because he couldn't really move, but he could get those arms up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So we have kids about the same age. When we both have 3.
Yes.
Starting at 10, going down to, is your youngest 5 yet?
Not till October.
Until October. But she has 3 boys, and I have the boy and 2 girls.
Yeah. And we were pretty close, and at least having them in the same year, except for Dean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
So it's fun.
A last minute decision.
That's fun. So shall we talk about knitting?
Sure.
Okay, I am wearing a knitted garment, so I'll talk about that. This is my design, the Elizabeth Bennet Linen Tee. This is my first design I wrote and published. It's made out of Lindy Chain yarn from Knit Picks in color linen. Let's see. And it's knit from the bottom up, seamless in the round.
It's my favorite kind.
Yes, and then I have these little, this little lace section that comes up and then goes up towards the neck and the back. So you knit bottom up to the armholes, and then you leave like the back on stitch marker or stitch shoulder, knit the front, then knit the back, then seamed at the shoulders.
Okay.
And it picked up and did just a reverse stockinette, the purl side for the collar and the sleeves. And I actually did a little seed stitch hem on this one. So it was fun, and it's out there. And I just put it up on loveknitting.com.
Oh, cool.
I just found that site where you can, indie dyers can publish their, or not indie dyers, indie designers can publish their stuff on loveknitting.com too. So this is the only one I have up there now. I just kind of was experimenting with the site. So I only have a few patterns anyways, but I'm trying to build my library. So
We can do it.
yes. Do you have a finished object that
I
you'd
did.
like to discuss?
I did.
Show and tell?
I don't ever make anything for me. Never. It's always for somebody else. So since Gabie's been doing all these nice ones, I've been trying to do something for myself. So this was the first thing that I did for myself, and it's a cow. And what I like about it is so it also stretches. So you can do it like this, or have it in your coat, or, you know, I'm going to totally mess up my hair and can do the whole thing like that. Or you can pull it out and put it over your shoulders, because it's very elasticy and you're increasing as you're going around.
So it's
this is where
bigger at the
So it's bigger
bottom
down here.
and
Yeah,
tighter
so
at the
you
top.
can-
And so you just used 2 yarns basically striped
I did.
them,
Yep.
and it's a purl
It-
here,
yeah.
reverse stockinette and stockinette.
Yeah, because if you flip it, you can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's baby alpaca.
I was gonna say, tell me about the yarn.
It's
and
baby
the
alpaca.
design.
Okay. As far as the yarn goes, I was never a yarn snob until recently. She did.
I still use regular
I know.
commercial yarn
I
that's
know.
cheap sometimes.
I do it for my kids,
But I
love it
have
for
to
me.
say, once you test out like merino wool and alpaca,
Well, so I've only really used
sometimes
alpaca.
it does feel different than
Yeah.
acrylic, and I like it better.
It's nice, and I think that this has more elasticity in this, and I don't know if it's from the alpaca or if it's from the pattern, but I really like this. It's 100% baby alpaca. I didn't keep
Super soft.
Yeah, it's super soft, but I didn't keep the package, so I can't remember
The
who
brand,
who the
anything.
brand was.
Okay.
I found a great little knitting shop in Sperryville. Everybody's in Sperryville, Virginia. There's a really cute little knit shop, or you're close to it. Our co-op is out that way, so that's how I found it, and it's so wonderful. Rebecca, she's the owner. She's great. We were getting ready for a snowstorm, and I didn't have enough yarn, and she mailed it to me. So she was like, "I'm not staying out." And the post office is literally next door, so she just mailed it to me. Yeah, so it was
That's very
great.
nice.
It was wonderful.
Really nice.
So
We'll have to. I'll put the name of the shop
oh yeah,
below.
I can't remember it off. It's a
We'll
cute
figure it
little
out.
cottage. I think it's called Knitwit.
Knitwit.
Yeah, I think it is.
Very cute.
The pattern I got at the store. She has little free patterns that she sticks around that she'll either print off the internet or, so I can't remember exactly where this one was from. I just know that I picked it up there because I was like, what am I going to do? And you shouldn't ever go into a yarn store and not know
Without
what
a
you're going
plan.
to do, because you're going to come out with a lot of stuff you either don't need or you don't use, or not enough, which
All
is
right,
what
not
happened
enough.
to me.
Yes.
Because it wasn't this project, it was a different project, but she mailed it to me for. But yeah, so you have to have a plan. So I literally, because I just found the shop, so I walked around and I picked up a pattern and went, okay, what am I going to use to go with it? So that's how
That
I went
works.
with that one. Yeah.
That's a cool one.
Pretty cool.
I have another finished object, and those that have watched the our Podcast with Keisha have seen this in almost finished state. This is my cotton, I think it's called I Love Cotton t-shirt pattern that I designed and knit. And I think last time I had it on with Keisha, I didn't have the sleeves done. I added just a 1x1 twisted rib to the sleeves, just like the neck. And I seamed it up, and it's, actually I did the sleeves, picked up stitches for the sleeves after it was seamed. But this is knit in 2 pieces, picking up stitches for the neck and the sleeves.
I like that.
Yeah. And shorter in the front than in the back. And maybe I can take a picture of it on and post it. I've been meaning to take some pictures and put them up on Instagram, but I haven't done it yet. So I'll have to do that. But I like it a lot, and it's very, very soft. It was a very inexpensive yarn, 100% cotton, but super soft.
Yeah.
It's like it was size 8 needle, so it goes by fast too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not too big either, though.
I've almost got the pattern finished. Almost.
This is the one you've been working on.
I've been working on it for a little while now. I keep trying to work on it at the pool. We have kids that do swim team together, and so we have about 2 hours there while they're...
it's longer than that because we all stay until the first one.
Right. But while they're actually in practice, it's about 2 hours. And I have tried a few times to work on my patterns, but I get distracted.
Too much.
Yes.
The women around her talk too much.
There are too many people who talk too much, and I don't remove myself, so...
No.
So eventually, hopefully soon, I'll finish it. That's my goal. So, do you have any other finished objects?
I don't have any more finished objects.
Okay.
Because my biggest problem is I start something and then it gets complicated and I have to stop.
You have to stop.
I have to stop for my sanity. There was one, and Gabie has come over and looked at it a couple of times. It was a shirt and had a complicated pattern to it, and I was increasing the whole time, and no matter what I did, I would always screw it up. After I'd get to like the 3rd time, I'd have to repeat something. I could never figure it out.
That was the lace cardigan.
Yes.
So it's like an all-over lace pattern in a cardigan, and the pattern was out of a magazine.
Yes.
And I don't know if maybe sometimes magazines, they only have a limited space, so maybe
you don't always get all the instructions.
Yeah, like the designer's notes and stuff.
Yeah,
that
about
helpful hints.
Yeah.
Pattern
Something to keep it going.
Hints or something.
It was an expert, but like I said, I've been knitting for a long time, so I didn't feel intimidated by it until I was like halfway into it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And
You restarted it a bunch of times.
3
didn't
times.
You? That would be
3
frustrating.
times. 3 times. But the other thing is I'm a distracted knitter. Like I want to watch TV and knit, or I want to sit and knit. It wasn't
knit flex. What do they call it? Knit flex.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know there was a term for it.
Like when you watch Netflix and knitflix. There you go.
I do that a lot. But yeah, I couldn't. I literally would have to count the stitches out, and I would get to a certain point every time, and I just couldn't go any further. So I
had to put that aside.
I did. And
did you repurpose the yarn?
I'm working on repurposing
is that what
the yarn right now.
It is today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So work in progress.
Work in progress. It's starting from the. I guess I should show the pattern because you're not going to figure out what I'm doing.
Show the book first.
Okay.
So
we're in Virginia. Book. Green Valley Book Fair.
So she just got this, at Green Valley Book Fair.
Yes.
She says that that's a great place to get all kinds of books.
Yes, it's wonderful.
She might be a book hoarder though, just as a warning.
Have you go to my Instagram and you look at our schoolroom? Yeah, you'll figure that out. This is the pattern. How close do you want me to get it? Good?
Yeah, it's really good.
So I'm starting at the bottom. And this is interesting. I've never done this before, so I'm starting with a 17 needle, which is a little hard, and I like the look, which is why I'm doing it. But it's a little like, is this even going to come together right as I'm knitting it right now? Because you go from a 17 to a 15 to a 13, and I think I get all the way down to an 8.
So it starts with the bottom hem she's cast on with a size 17 needle, and then it reduces needles all the way up to the very top. to a 6.
To a 6.
So to get the shape,
Yeah.
it just changes the needle size rather
To
than the
bring it
stitch
in.
count.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes it airy too.
Yes. It's definitely a summer tank
Right.
top. So,
That's kind
I've
of cool. I
started
haven't
it.
seen a design like that.
yeah. So I have started it. So I'm working on it. But it is a bit of a mess right now because they're such large.
Yeah. Let's see if we can show the kind of the large stitches without dropping them off your giant needles.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
So it's super open
Yeah.
at the bottom, and it'll reduce.
And it's only 7 rounds. So I'm doing this for 7
So,
rounds, and then
these are the
to
needles.
certain inches and
Huge.
15. Yeah, they're huge. So then I switch to a 15. I've got 2 more rounds, and then I switch to the 15, and then I have to go in the 15 for I think like 12 inches or something.
Ah.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah, it'll be nice. I think it'll be nice when it's done.
Mhm. And the yarn you're using is
Alpaca.
Alpaca.
It's not baby alpaca. It's just alpaca.
it should be very drapey,
Yes, it should. And
Yeah,
I kind
alpaca's
of, I
kinda
kind of
drapey.
like that. I like that look.
flowy,
So, yeah.
drapey.
And the color I'm gonna finish it off with is a burgundy.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm thinking right now. I mean, I might get to the end and change the color because I haven't been to my knit shop in a while, so I might need
Yeah.
to pick a different color.
Burgundy, and that's
Yeah.
kind of a aqua-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it
bluish
might look
green.
nice, but I have to actually lay them out together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one is alpaca, but I think it might have some wool in it. Like I think it's a thinner or
A mix.
Yeah.
Merino alpaca.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I like a mix. I like the merino mixes. The alpaca makes it soft. Or I don't think I've ever knit with it, but blue face luster. You ever knit with that?
I have not. No,
They mix merino in that, and it's very, very soft.
I like soft.
Yeah.
I like
It's
soft.
very soft.
And I'm a hat knitter
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
In the winter, that's all I do. All my boys got 2 to 3. We live out on a farm, so I got 2 to 3 neon orange hats.
Yeah.
Here. Here.
Well, that's good. Then they won't
Yes.
get shot by the
Yes,
hunters in the woods
that's the plan. That's the plan.
when they're out running amok.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need one, Wookie. You need a little hat?
I say no, because then the hawks will spot me easier.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's so small. I worry about like birds of prey attacking him in our yard. But so he's not really left out there alone. It's a very different experiencing having a little dog versus my last dog was a 100-pound chocolate lab. So I didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about other animals with
And
him.
she didn't hold him on her lap.
No, he would have squished me. This one's a little lap dog. All right, I do have a work in progress. It's a half object, actually.
I like it.
Yes. All right, so again, this is Knit Picks Lindy Chain. I really like the yarn for summer because it's, I like the chain yarn better than just the cotton, that like what's in here. I feel like it has more give or something. I don't know. And it makes it lighter and airier. So this was a set from Knit Picks. I think it's called like Sunset something or other. I'll have to find that out. So it came with all 5 colors of yarn, 1 ball of each. This is turmeric. I forget what that one's called.
Looks very mustardy.
Yes. And this is a coral. And then this little blush pink one. And I forget what this one's called. I can put the things up there. So I decided just to do a very, very simple summer tank top. And I'm starting at the bottom, doing it in 2 pieces, and just doing stockinette stitch for 5 inches on this size. Each size would change the length just a little bit to get that length even, or each block even. And then I just switch to the next yarn and keep going until the armholes decrease there, and then decrease at the neck. And I haven't decided, I think this is going to be the back, and I haven't decided, I might do like a V-neck on the front, and so it'll attach under the arms here.
Yeah, but it might be nice with just a scoop too.
Might be. I have to decide that before I get to it. I have a while because I haven't even cast on the second side. But it's fairly long, so it's about 25 inches in length. And I plan on actually leaving the side open a good ways. And it might really work well for going over like a bathing suit.
Okay.
But I want it to be really summery and airy, so I like it. I wasn't sure if the colors would go together well in a top or not, but I think after knitting it, I think it's kind of cool.
And it's kind of different too.
Mm-hmm.
But it not in like a weird different, you know, like in a
Thank you.
pretty. Well, you know, because
Yeah.
sometimes different doesn't necessarily mean good.
That's true. Different can have a negative connotation. But so I'm excited about that, and I really wanted something easy to knit. And until you get to the armpits, it's the same number of stitches and just stockinette stitch.
Go right up.
And you just have to.
So I could watch Netflix with that one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I wanted something I could do by the pool. So I wanted it lightweight, not hot.
And if you got distracted, it wouldn't matter.
Yes, exactly. So it's been perfect for that, and I've done all that pretty much by the pool this summer.
Yes, you have.
So yeah, it's been fun. Oh, puppy's gone to sleep. Can't see him down here.
I know. So when I was really petting the puppy, if you saw my hand, if you know, I was petting the puppy. I looked up a couple times. I was like, oh, it kind of looks weird.
So, Katie, what else have you been doing this summer?
Oh, too much. Between swim team, VBS, we have a friend who's in the process of moving, so we've all been kind of taking turns watching the kids. I have the kids again next week, so
it's a lot.
Yes, it's
so
a
that's
lot.
3 plus your 3.
Yeah,
I
which
had
is
them for a
fine at the
week.
pool,
Yeah.
and it's even fine at the house. It's just another thing that's going on.
Yeah. When you go from 3 to 6 kids, there's a level of chaos that increases just slightly.
But I have 3 boys, so adding a couple more, it really doesn't feel like
It doesn't
feel like it's been any different.
It's funny.
It's more having the girl around who wants to more follow me than hang out with the boy. That's been a little bit different than what I'm typically used to.
That's true.
But we're really not doing anything because we're a homeschool family. More of our vacations are going to be in September, October, that type of thing, when the crowds have died down and we have the opportunity to go out after.
Do y'all do a beach vacation?
Sometimes it's not typically in our plans to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom typically always does something in the summer, and we're always invited to come. And before my nieces and nephews started school, we would typically all go in September, but since they've been going to school, it's changed a bit. So yeah, there are no beach plans this year, which totally bummed my kids out, but we do have plans for the Creation Museum, so they seem a little happier with that. So
yeah, that's in the fall, right?
That's in the fall. Yeah, I think November. My husband is opening a brewery, and he has an Oktoberfest going on, and he said after the Oktoberfest we could go to Creation Museum.
Yeah. So Katie and her husband bought a farm,
25 acres,
and he has been working for a while now, pretty hard on doing a microbrewery on the farm.
Yeah, they call it a farm brewery.
Yeah.
Unionville Brewery. Because he'll be really mad if I didn't.
If you don't want it.
Yeah.
When it opens, so is the grand opening going to be like Oktoberfest?
Yeah, it will be. And
That'd be fun.
from what I understand, he's calling out food trucks and bounce houses, and they're gonna have. It's gonna be like a festival. When you pull into our yard, we have a big field, and then there's our house, but there's another field off to the side, and that's where he would have the festival. Is the one off to the side. Yeah.
That'll be cool. He's got lots of plants out there. Y'all planted berries, so
we
you're
have
gonna
berries.
eventually have blackberries
We
and
have
raspberries.
2 plum trees now.
Plum trees, nice.
Yeah, and he, they have lots of plans for educational purposes for having the local high schools, the community college, and even talking to some of the other more known colleges. I won't say their names since they don't have any
No
contracts or
yeah.
anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to plug it, but
No.
they're working with their agriculture departments to set up So the kids can test soil, they can grow their own plants to see, you know, changing soil. And I'm not a farmer, so I don't know all this stuff, but changing some of those things out, how would that affect the soil or whatnot?
Right.
So he's very big into education because we homeschool, and because he feels like it's a way to plug into the community. My husband's that community. Let's bring everybody into the process. So who can we get who can do this, and who can we get to do that? And so, yeah, and the county's really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go onto the county website, which is Orange County, you can already find the brewery, and we're not
Really?
technically open yet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And if you search on Google Maps, we're there.
An official
We've
brewery,
had-
even though you're not
We've
quite
had
open.
we've had a couple people stop by.
Really?
Yeah, and my husband been like, "What are you up to?" And they're like, "We heard there was a brewery." And my husband will walk them around and say, "We were getting ready for our soft opening. We just got our ABC license, and now we can officially brew beer. Because when the ABC comes by to inspect, you have to be totally dry. There can't be any alcohol
Oh, so
on premise.
you couldn't
No.
test out anything yet.
No. Well, we have done tests already, but we haven't, before ABC came out, everything had to be dry and everything had to be scrubbed. So now that ABC has come and given us our license, now we can officially brew so that we can
Nice.
sell to the public. So that, like the next week, my husband will be brewing, and it takes about 2 weeks for their first recipe to be totally ready to go to the public. So sometime within the next month, maybe middle of August, we'll be doing our soft opening, where we'll be open. I
Exciting.
think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be open, and then we'll go from there and get bigger as it happens. Yeah, so
That's exciting to actually
It
see
is.
like a dream that big actually coming to fruition.
and he dreams big.
Oh, he does.
Really big.
He dreams really big.
Really
And he has
big.
lots and lots of ideas. But it's kind of neat to see it actually
Yeah, this is the.
coming to reality.
I don't mean this when I say this is the first one that's really panning out, but it's not that at all. I mean, it really has been every idea he's ever had. He's just expanded on, and this is the first time we've really had the ability to do it. Because if you look at a lot of the breweries the microbreweries that are starting out, they do it like in strip malls and that sort of thing, and you're already paying rent
Right.
before you have anything else coming in. When we bought the farm, we had another building that we could put the actual brewery into, and we didn't have to pay any rent on top of what we
Right.
were already paying for our house. So it wasn't as much cash outflow before we had the ability to start bringing it in.
Granny had to build out the
He did.
stuff and buy the
He
equipment.
did. He did. And if you
So a little
ever
capital in there.
come out and see the brewery, just know my house is not as pretty
As
as
the
the
brewery.
brewery, because there's
That's
been
true.
a lot of time and a lot of effort put into that. With the whole, if this does really well, it will pay for that. So, I've been a very patient wife, I think. But he's
Yeah.
been very patient too. He very much gives me the reins to homeschool the way that I want to do it, and he's very, very supportive. Like, yeah, okay, and kind of he'll be like, so in order to brew, you have to blah blah blah, and I'm like, and then I'll go, so when I homeschool, blah blah blah, and he's like,
That works.
It does, as long as everybody's
y'all.
listening and nodding
Yes.
their head.
Yes.
It all works out well. Yeah,
That's funny.
it is. So, yeah, it's gonna be really
A lot of
soon.
excitement.
Too much.
Too much excitement. You need the knitting to keep the peace.
I
in
do.
all the
I do.
chaos.
Well, but see, I had an exchange student this year,
Mhm.
and I learned from that experience that I'm very much an introvert. I mean, I need my alone time in order to recharge who I am.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I would assume, I could be totally wrong, but I would assume a lot of knitters would relate to that.
I could see
Kind
that.
of needing their alone time.
Yeah, because you got to be able to think sometimes when you're doing certain things with your knitting.
Yeah, and it's fun to do it in groups, but it's kind of a solitary thing where you can,
Yeah.
something you can kind of just,
You move at your own pace, rip it all out if you hate what you've made.
right, start
Whatever
again.
it goes. Yeah. Yeah, so and it really has only been this year that I've really been able to
Recognize that.
recognize that, but really been able to tackle my knitting too. So,
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Well, your youngest is 4.
Yep.
It was around, when Kason was around 3, that's when I got to start
Yeah,
knitting again.
I do, like I
In
said,
earnest.
I do lots of hats. Lots of hats. I can do hats in my sleep at this point.
Probably could.
Yeah. My kids would just wait there and catch them. But yeah, I was always doing it for them. And I did lots of socks this winter. Don't ask me why, but I did a lot of socks.
Is it because they're kind of like hats? They're a small project that you can
finish quickly.
Yeah.
And feel successful.
Yeah.
And then you get lazy and you start washing them like they're everything else, and now they don't fit anymore.
Oh no!
Here, give them to the kids.
Well, see, that's what you have to do is start out making them for you and your husband,
and then
if they accidentally shrink, then be like, look, I made you socks.
Here, Merry Christmas. I know I wasn't wearing these last year. I don't know what you're talking about.
They were way bigger than
and they're a little
last year.
felted now.
It makes them even more sturdy.
Yes.
And warm.
Yes. I need to make more socks for this winter.
I have only made like 2 pairs of socks in my life.
I really would like to learn how to do the double pair where you knit both pairs of socks at the same time. But I've looked at a couple videos and I have to admit I'm a little intimidated. I'm like, no.
I think as long as you don't get your yarn twisted, you have to have your 2 balls of yarn.
Mm-hmm. You saw my balls of yarn, right?
Oh, yeah. Katie's...
I did do it with a winder. I did do it with a winder.
Maybe you should show those. Katie's balls of yarn have gotten a little messed up.
But you have to remember that
I ripped apart. Straight might be bad.
I ripped apart 2 projects.
She couldn't find the end.
I couldn't. I was very angry. It's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep coming. But
oh, that one's pretty.
Yeah.
What is that for?
Socks.
Aw. Where is it? It's merino?
Yeah.
Sock yarn?
And it's from the same shop in...
Do you have any idea anything else about it?
Nope.
It's cute.
It is. I've already made a pair out of it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this isn't enough for a whole pair.
No.
You gonna do a contrasting?
Maybe.
Thing.
Or I can do it. I can do little socks for my nieces. I do have lots of nieces.
That's fun.
My parents have 9 grandchildren, and there are 4 boys. 3 of them are mine.
Right, so you have a lot of nieces.
Yes, I have a lot of nieces.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a beach trip coming up.
Oh, where are you headed?
Excited. Nags Head. We try to go
nice.
every year. Kind of a family tradition from when I was little. We would always go.
What's really funny is I hear a lot of homeschoolers go there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good beach. It's not, like in Virginia, we have Virginia Beach, which is a lovely beach, and it's really, really wide, but it's very commercial, I guess you could say. Whereas down in North Carolina,
on
that coast, it's not as commercial.
Yeah, we do Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
Corolla is our Outer Banks area. Yeah, and literally one year when we planned our trip, and it was a homeschool, like it's the week that everybody in North Carolina and Virginia were going back to school. There were
That's
so
when you should
many.
always go to school because it's typically cheaper.
Yep.
And then you have less crowds. So the same thing for like field trip type things.
Oh yes. During
when
the week.
Yeah.
We're moviegoers. We love to go to the movie theater, and we always go on like a Tuesday or Wednesday while school is in session.
That works.
It does. And when we do it during the summer, we're always like, there are too many people in here.
That's funny.
We're typically used to having the whole movie theater to ourselves
yourself.
Completely.
Treat you bothering you.
Even if it's only been out of the theater for like, if it's been out for about a week, we still are like the only ones in the theater.
Well, because all the other kids are in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Occasionally there's some preschoolers in there depending on what kind of movie we're seeing, but yeah.
All right, I don't know if I have anything else to discuss. No.
You were going to ask about drinks.
Oh, I was going to ask you your favorite summer drink.
So we do tea time at my house.
Yes.
And everybody thinks it's so glamorous. It's not.
Well, it's
cute.
You need to picture it though. She has picture your great grandmother's little tea pitcher.
Yeah.
And the little teacups and saucer.
Yes.
And then all the food cut small.
Yeah, it looks like tea food. Yeah, I do.
Right.
I do try to make it look like tea.
And then she has 3 boys and herself. Yes. And they do it daily.
Yeah, we haven't done it during the summer because we're not home when we would do tea time.
Right.
So we haven't done it at all this summer. So what we've been doing is we do an evening tea where I just pull out the chamomile and like the lemon and anything that's non-caffeinated, and we take it upstairs in a big tray, and the kids will drink tea while we read stories. So that's kind of how I've mellowed that out. But
it'd be calming too.
it can be, and they kind of feel
with 3 boys.
The sugar bowl still comes out.
Right. That's how Braylon likes her
sugar,
tea.
Yeah.
Some warm water.
And sugar cubes.
It's great if it has a tea bag in it, but that's not necessary. It's all the sugar.
And we do the cubes. I mean, specifically for tea time, we do the cubes. We
1 lump or 2?
Scoop. Yeah.
Or 5?
Totally. 2 is their limit. I take the sugar and I put it up high when after everybody's gotten their sugar.
You know, that can limit their sugar too, because the spoonfuls can vary greatly.
Yes, they can.
Depending on who's scooping.
Yes, it can.
Braylon likes to scoop her own sugar.
Yeah.
And
we
it ends
just
up
gave
being
her
sugar
2
water.
sugar cubes.
Yes.
We limit
That would
it
work.
down. Yeah. So I do the Republic of Tea. That's kind of really the only one I really like. They're very recyclable. They're very green. They're very organic, and you know what's going into the tea. And they have this whole line of iced teas, and they have a wine iced tea. It's not alcohol. It's just a tea that has the wine taste to it.
Is it good?
It's fantastic. The rose sangria, favorite summer drink.
So that would be more like a fruity.
Yeah, it is kind
not
of
just
fruity.
like
No,
wine.
it's fruity, and I don't even know how much of the wine
flavor
other than you're getting the berries that would have gone into a rosé, and the white grapiness that would have gone into a rosé, and you just taking it out and smelling it, it just smells like summer. I mean, it's so sweet and not flowery.
Berry.
Yeah.
Berry.
Like produce, summer produce. It's like a summer and it smells so good, and it really is good. Come over to the house and we'll make you a batch. Yeah, and my kids like the rose hibiscus. That's their favorite. And
That's funny.
And they don't even need a lot of sugar because it's already got such a sweetness to it. It needs very little sugar.
I don't think I've tried that one either.
And it's caffeine free because of the rose.
Oh,
yeah. And so they can have that at night. So I've actually, with Republic of Tea, you can buy it in the canister. You can do the sample packs, or you can do the bulk, which is way too much tea. We wouldn't drink all of that tea in a reasonable amount of time. But you can buy refills. So instead of buying the can over again, you get a brown bag and you can dump your tea bags back into the can.
Oh. Do you order it?
Yes, I order it. You can get it at World Market. At least you could. It's been a while since I've been in World Market, but you could get it at World Market.
Where do you order yours from?
Straight through the Republic of Tea. You can set up to do a monthly subscription. You can, and they'll send you a magazine that will have a free sample in it. That'll have the catalog, and they normally have some kind of promotion going every month. One time we got a free thing of black cherry sage tea. The whole canister
was good?
Part of. Yes, we actually have 2 canisters of it because I didn't realize I was getting it for free too when I bought it. Pay attention to promotion. So yeah, we do actually really like it though. Yeah, but they'll send you if they have some kind of promotion going on. They'll send you. Yeah.
I'm pretty much the only one who drinks tea in my house.
You can change that if you do a tea time.
That's true.
That's really important.
It is a lot of effort to do the tea time.
Well, you don't have to do it big like me. You can do a teapot and teacups and call it a day. I mean, you don't have to do.
We do it occasionally.
We do it as lunch.
Yeah.
My husband works from home, obviously, since he's opening a brewery. He comes in for lunch, and I do my hot meal at lunchtime. So I don't do a hot meal at dinner. I do it at lunchtime because we're all together. Everybody is pretty calm and low-key, so it's a nice time for my husband and I to get a chance to chat while we get to chat with the kids. And it doesn't feel rushed, and in the winter...
Nobody's tired and cranky yet.
And when we do winter sports, we're not running
There's
out the door after eating. Yeah.
That's nice to do that because in the winter we are...
We
struggle to have the dinner together.
That touch time where you can come together. Yeah. So, but you can even include that into doing, since you do homeschool and they don't have to get up early in the morning, you can always just do a simple tea right before bed too.
That's true.
It gets them to sample things, and my rule is if you've tried a tea bag for the first time and you don't like it, well, you don't have to drink it. Because you
But you
tried
should
it.
try
and- Yeah, you tried it, and I'm just so happy you tried it since you don't try anything at all.
Nice.
So,
I think my favorite summer drink is iced coffee. In the afternoon, like after lunch, to have an iced coffee. It's a nice pick-me-up. That's when I try. If I'm home, I try to send the kids like to their rooms and have a quiet time and have my iced coffee and read a book for a few minutes. And I feel so much more,
like a person.
yes, and willing to like do other things in the afternoon. Then when I don't get that time, I just feel like I'm dragging.
I understand that.
But I can't drink it too late in the day, otherwise
Then
it
you're up all
messes
night.
up my sleep. Yeah.
I've never liked coffee.
No?
I like the smell of it, but I
Don't like to
I
drink
don't like
it.
the taste. Nope.
Mm.
My husband
I
likes
like
it,
it.
so
Yeah. I
And
started in college.
I have so much tea in my house that we're all good.
You could
I have so much tea that I don't have to worry about.
Hi, Wookie. You have stinky breath. Smelly little dog breath. Well, thanks for chatting with me.
No
And sharing
problem.
your knitting
No
and
problem.
life.
Anytime.
Thanks for watching. Bye.